From the classroom to the waterfront, more than 1,000 7th grade students will participate this school year in a variety of real-world, hands-on, and active learning activities that will involve marsh and waterway science experiences. One field activity takes place at a salt marsh located at Bennett's Creek Park.
Today this is the Marshland Field Experience, part of the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance, Nansemond Watershed Initiative connecting the classroom to the environment. There are 7 stations, and students from all the 7th grade here in the City Public Schools will rotate through the different stations and learn about the wonderful natural resources we have here in Suffolk.
At the oyster measuring station, students are trained to measure and determine the age of each oyster. They also learn which oysters are market size for commercial fishing, and also how to determine if an oyster is alive or not. Later in the year, these students will apply their acquired knowledge and training in the classroom, where they will classify hundreds of baby oysters for the Nansemond Watershed Initiative.
My job is to bring the oysters and the critters to the classroom for the kids to measure. They go over the scientific data. They check the salinity of the water, they check the oxygen of the water, and they check for the nitrates in the water.
At this station, students learn about the importance of preserving the wetlands. With nets in hand, they capture a variety of critters such as periwinkle snails and grass shrimp from the shoreline, then deposit them into the water-filled bucket where they will later learn more about their catch. A larger net is used to capture small fish, tiny crabs, and jellyfish for students to handle and examine. Here, a tightly woven, cone-shaped net with a plastic container at the bottom is pulled through the water to capture tiny critters called plankton, a primary food source for both oysters and other fish. On another day, students board the B. Hayman Clark, a boat belonging to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. With Captain Jimmy at the helm, the boat headed from Chuckatuck Creek to the James River, and on the way, local author Carla Smith shared her knowledge of the history and topography of the region. After reaching their destination in the James River, a net was prepared to be dropped overboard and pulled behind the boat to get a sample of marine animals that live in the James. This student carried on the tradition of kissing the net for good luck before it was thrown over. While waiting for the net to be filled, students occupied their time by looking at the tiny critters that live on oyster shells. After about 10 minutes of dragging the net behind the boat, the students had the task of hauling the net aboard. Once on board, the catch was released into a container. Adult crabs and other snarky animals that might injure the students were removed by the trip educator, Yancey Powell. Then students began sorting the critters into 3 small containers based on the fish type. On the way back, Powell identified and pointed out characteristics of the various animals that were captured in the net. After talking about the catch of the day, Powell and Captain Jimmy taught the students a dance that demonstrated the eating process of oysters. Back on dry land, this was surely a day these students won't soon forget. This is Bethy Ann Bradshaw reporting for News Bites.